This week, you're going to discover the biggest problem with your home colour palette, find out the secret on how you can fix it, and learn 4 specific and easy ways to do it. This is a foundational part of your interior design and you don't want to be the one overlooking it. It's the glue that holds your decor together and allows for a cohesive home. Imagine the feeling of walking through a flowing and coordinated space. This is possible for you, so pop in those earbuds and let's go. Welcome to the Daring Home Decor podcast. Are you tired of playing it safe with your interior design? Are you overwhelmed with choice and just want simple steps to pull off cohesive and unique decor? I'm your host, Cara Baker, virtual interior designer and bold decor coach. I'll help you get brave, find your style and create a home with pizzazz. So grab your paintbrush, put on those overalls and let's get decorating. I remember when I first opened my home Instagram account and I used to put pictures on there of my home. It was just pictures at the time. We didn't have reels then. I'd upload photos, I'd post photos, and when I was looking at my grid, it just didn't look right. It didn't look appealing. And I used to look at other Instagram accounts, other home decor and interior design Instagram accounts, and they just looked so aesthetically pleasing. And I couldn't work out what they were doing that I wasn't. And it did actually take me quite a long time, even though it may seem obvious. It wasn't obvious to me, and it might not be obvious to you. So I realised eventually that the reason why my grid just wasn't killing it was because I was decorating each room in my home in a different colour. So the biggest problem with your home colour palette is that you don't have one. And every room in your home or every space in your home is decorated in isolation. Just like my rooms were. I just go through the colours of my rooms when I first decorated them in this house. The living room was beige, kind of a beige colour. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what came over me at the time, but yes, my living room was beige. My hallway was grey. The downstairs toilet was light grey, so I suppose the theme was carrying on a little bit there. Our bedroom was turquoise and yellow and beige. The guest room was purple. The bathroom was beige, so maybe my colour palette was beige with random colours thrown in. The office was, and still is, unfortunately it still is, a duck egg blue. The laundry room was blue and yellow, and they were kind of like a retro shade of blue and yellow. The kitchen was in your face primary colours. These were mostly accents. There was red, yellow, green and purple, and the porch was teal green. So I think that's all the rooms. Yeah, I think that was all of them. So as you can see, there was a bit of a mixture going on there, and that was the reason why my Instagram feed looked a little bit shit. And in honesty, when I walked around my house, or when anybody walked around my house, it didn't feel like it was flowing and connected. It did actually feel quite disconnected and confusing, which wasn't probably obvious to me at the time that was the reason why, but I knew that there was something missing. I just wasn't quite sure what it was. Or maybe you haven't decorated each room in isolation. Maybe you have just walloped the whole house out in a brilliant white that you got off the shelf in, one of those big tubs of paint. So again, this is not a colour palette. You don't have a colour palette if this is the case. So having a group of random colours for no particular reason is not a curated home colour palette. So I will repeat that again. The biggest problem with your home colour palette is that you don't have one. Now that we've established that, let's move on to how we can fix that for you. The exciting part, because Good news is there's a solution to every problem and we can absolutely fix this for you. And I want to give you some easy ways to fix this. I don't want this to be complicated for you. I know you're already overwhelmed and you don't know where to start. So the last thing you need from me is to make things more confusing in your head. So it's going to be easy, I promise. And the first thing that you could do is to find inspiration from a home accessory. Maybe you've got a favourite piece of artwork where the colours really speak to you and you really resonate with. You could take this piece of artwork, start in one room and create a colour palette for that room or space based on the colours in the artwork. You will find that if you've got any kind of if an artist has put a picture together, they usually have a really good eye for what colours work well. So I think you're onto a winner if you're choosing colours that are in a piece of art. You already love it and you know that whoever's created that art has a good eye for what colours work well together. So use the piece of art and buy accessories, or maybe paint a wall or buy a rug in similar colours that are in the painting or the print. And there you go, you have your colour palette. Other accessories or items in your home that you can use to do this with could maybe be a patterned cushion. A patterned cushion that you really love the colours. They've got at least two, I would say, colours in there to be able to try to pull together a colour palette. Or maybe a duvet cover. Lots of duvet covers are plain, but you can certainly get a good amount of patterned duvet covers, be it floral, tropical, abstract, and you can be sure that there will be a good mix of colours in those too. So that is your first way that you can pull together a colour palette, and it's really super easy. I'm sure you will agree. Now, the second way is to steal a scene from outdoors or nature. So imagine going on a woodland walk, and this would be different whichever season it was as well. So in the spring, you're going to get slightly different shades to what you will get in the summer, and obviously in the autumn or fall you will also get different shades too. So if you think about it, in the spring you will get some bright greens, maybe some yellows, and then in the autumn and fall maybe you'll get some rusty oranges or deep reds. So take note whilst you're out in nature and see what colour palettes are there, because nature never puts together a bad colour palette. You can then take those colours and transcend them into the decor of your home. Another outdoor space could maybe be a tropical holiday. There you're going to get a different vibe of colour palette again. So the best thing to do really is when you're out and about or when you go on holiday, just be mindful of it and just look around and see which colours or scenes that are resonating with you. So as I said, a tropical holiday, you're going to be getting bright oranges, bright cobalt blues, maybe deep pinks. I don't know about you, but whenever I see any kind of tropical scene, it always makes me feel happy. So that would be a perfect colour palette for a really happy and uplifting home. Another beautiful colour palette when you're out and about could be a seaside town. Just think about it. The pastel colours of the houses along the seafront, or maybe the beach huts, the turquoise or blue of the sea, and the pops of colour from the fun fair on the pier. The third way in which you can fix your home colour palette is to choose your favourite decorated room in your home. So maybe they don't all speak to you and they don't all speak to you as a collective, but there might be one room that just stands out that you really resonate with, that you really love the colours in. So you can start with this one room and you can use this for the colour palette for your whole house. So pick out the main colours in the room. I wouldn't go with too many, maybe 2 to 3. Add a couple of neutrals. This could be black, white, gold, brass, silver, beige even. I don't mind, even grey. I do not mind beige or grey. It's only when they're in isolation and there's no colour added to them. So yeah. Create your colour palette from your favourite decorated room in your home. And the fourth way is to invest in a colour palette for your home. Actually invest in it rather than trying to do it yourself. The easiest way that you can do this is to snag a digital decor kit from me, because this includes a personalised colour palette. I don't just make it up, I base it on what you like, what you love, what you hate, what you tell me. So it is personalised and customised to you. And a digital decor kit is your step-by-step guide to decorating a bold, personality-filled room without the second guessing, without the overwhelmed. You don't have to figure it all out alone. If that sounds good, head to daringhomedecor.co.uk/digital decor kit and let's create something amazing together. Now, of course, you could invest in a colour palette and purchase it from elsewhere. That is absolutely fine. But the most important thing is that you get one. And as a bonus, if you're a creative person and feel confident, you can have a go at putting together your own home colour palette. You can do this using your favourite colours. And remember, as I mentioned before, less is more to start with. You can always add to later, but it can get very confusing when you've got 5+ colours in a colour palette to start with. So to recap, the biggest problem with your colour palette is that you don't have one. Let's fix it by either finding inspiration from a home accessory, stealing a scene from outdoors or nature, basing it on your favourite decorated room, or investing in getting a colour palette created for your home. And as I told you, I can absolutely help you with that. And one last thing, if you've ever listened to an episode and thought, oh, I needed that, can I ask you a little favour? Would you leave me a quick review on Apple Podcasts? It isn't just a nice thing to do, although I will love you forever. It actually tells the podcast apps this is a show worth recommending. So if this show has helped you feel braver with your home or more confident in your decisions, your review could be the reason someone else discovers the show too. Just a few words make a big difference. Go on, you know what to do. And that is a wrap. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next Tuesday, where I can't wait to get creative with you in the next episode of the Daring Home Decor podcast. Put down your tester pot for one more minute. Come share your wins from this episode by leaving a quick review on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget, you'll find your next bold steps in the show notes. Meanwhile, you can get more interior inspo by joining my free community at facebook.com/groups/daring home decor. And until next week, stay daring.